Kneel before me, and I'll spare your world.
I'd rather die standing than live on my knees.
Then you've chosen war.
In the United States and across the UK, millions love stories where one ordinary human stands against impossible odds and wins. This is one of those stories. An alien queen ruled half the galaxy. She was stronger, faster, and more powerful than any warrior alive. She laughed at every challenger and said the same words. Defeat me and be mine. Thousands tried. All of them failed. Many died. Then one dirty, quiet man from Earth stepped into her arena. He looked like nothing special, but he was Earth's greatest secret. What happened next shocked every empire watching. The truth behind this man will surprise you. 3 things no one saw coming. The Queen's hidden fear, the real power Earth had kept quiet, and the moment her laughter finally died. Let me show you exactly how this happened. The great arena floated in the dark space above a purple planet. Its walls were made of black metal that shone under blue lights. Thousands of aliens filled the seats. They came from many worlds. Some had scales. Some had 4 arms. Some glowed in the dark. All of them watched in silence. In the center of the round floor stood Queen Vespera. She was tall and young and very beautiful. Her skin was pale like fresh snow. Her long platinum hair was pulled high in a tight ponytail. Golden marks glowed softly on her cheeks and neck. She wore black and gold armor that covered her whole body. The armor fit her like a second skin, but stayed fully closed and strong. No one had ever seen her lose. Queen Vespera ruled the Vexari Empire. Her ships controlled hundreds of star systems. Her soldiers never questioned her. For 10 years, she had given the same challenge to the whole galaxy. Fight me, she would say. If you defeat me, I become yours. I will leave my throne and stay by your side forever. If you lose, you belong to me or you die. Champions came from every corner of space. Big warriors with heavy hammers tried first. She moved like wind and knocked them down in seconds. Fast fighters with energy blades came next. She caught their arms and broke their weapons. Proud kings and famous generals stepped forward. None lasted more than 1 minute. The crowd always cheered when she won. She would stand over them, point her finger, and laugh. The sound of her laugh filled the whole arena. On this day, the arena felt different. A small gray ship from Earth had arrived. Earth was a tiny blue planet far away. Most aliens thought humans were weak. They had no big empire. They had no fancy armor. They only had simple ships and quiet ways. The other races laughed when they heard Earth wanted to send a challenger. Queen Vespera smiled when her guards told her. A human, she said. Let him come. This will be quick and funny. The big doors on the side of the arena opened. 2 human officers in dark blue uniforms walked in first. Behind them came one man. He did not look like a hero. His brown hair was messy. Dirt covered his face and gray shirt. His brown pants were torn at the knee. He had no armor. He carried no big gun or glowing sword. He just walked with calm steps to the middle of the floor. The crowd started to laugh. Some aliens pointed. Others shook their heads. A big soldier with red skin shouted, "This is the best Earth can send. He looks like a farmer." Queen Vespera looked him up and down. Her bright blue eyes narrowed. Then she laughed loud and clear. The sound bounced off the metal walls. "You," she said. She pointed her finger straight at his chest. "You are the one who thinks he can defeat me. Look at you. Dirty clothes. No weapons. No power that I can see. Humans are soft. Your world is small. You should kneel now and save yourself pain." The man did not kneel. He did not speak. He only stood there with his hands at his sides. His eyes stayed on her face. They were calm and steady, like deep water. The 2 human officers behind him looked nervous, but they stayed quiet. Queen Vespera stepped closer. Her gold armor shone under the lights. I will say it one more time so everyone hears, she called out. Her voice reached every seat. Defeat me and I am yours. I will be your prize. But if you fail, you will wish you never left your little blue world, she laughed again. Many in the crowd laughed with her. Still the man said nothing. He took one slow breath. The dirt on his cheek cracked a little when he moved his jaw. Queen Vespera tilted her head. For a very small second, something changed in her eyes. She was used to fear. She was used to angry shouts. She was not used to quiet. Around the edge of the arena, her elite guards stood ready. They wore the same black and gold armor. Their weapons stayed down, but their bodies were tense. High up in the seats, rulers from other empires leaned forward. They wanted to see the human fall fast. The air felt heavy. Blue lights hummed. The metal floor under their feet was cold and clean. Queen Vespera raised her hand and made a small circle in the air. A soft energy field rose around the fighting space, so no one could run. What is your name? Human, she asked. Her voice still held laughter. The man looked at her for a long moment. Then he spoke for the first time. His words were simple and low. Does it matter? The queen's smile grew wider. No, she said. It will not matter when you are on the ground. She dropped into a ready stance. Her armor plates shifted with soft clicks. Power glowed along the gold lines. The crowd grew louder. Some stomped their feet. Others shouted for her to finish him quickly. The human officers took 3 steps back. One of them whispered something into a small device on his wrist. Far above the arena, in the gray Earthship, more humans watched on screens. They did not cheer. They only waited. Queen Vespera did not know that this dirty man was not a normal soldier. She did not know what Earth had hidden for many years. She only saw a tired face and plain clothes. She pointed at him one last time. Come then, she said. Defeat me and be mine. Or fall like all the others. The man rolled his shoulders once. He took a single step forward. The whole arena went quiet for the first time that day. Even the queen paused. Something in the way he moved felt wrong for a weak human. It felt steady. It felt sure. High in the stands, an old alien with silver eyes leaned toward his friend and said, I have a bad feeling about this one. Queen Vespera did not hear him. She only saw an easy winches. She had no idea that the real story was just beginning, and that her long laughter was about to meet something the galaxy had never seen before. The energy field around them glowed brighter. Queen Vespera moved first. She was fast. One moment she stood still. The next she crossed the floor like a flash of black and gold. Her fist aimed at the human's chest. The crowd rose to its feet. They expected the dirty man to fly backward. Instead, he turned his body just enough. Her fist passed by his shirt. The wind from the punch ruffled his messy hair. He did not jump away in fear. He simply was not there when the hit arrived. Vespera's eyes widened a little. She spun and kicked high. Her armored boot cut the air where his head had been. Again, he moved only as much as he needed. His feet stayed light on the metal floor. Dirt from his pants fell in small clouds. She attacked again and again. Each strike was strong enough to break stone. Each time the human slid to the side or leaned back. He still had not thrown a single punch. The laughing in the seats slowed down. Some aliens stopped smiling. Stand and fight, Vespera shouted. Her voice held the first drop of anger. She pulled power into her hands. Gold light formed around her fingers. She threw a blast of energy straight at him. The human raised one arm and took the hit on his forearm. The light exploded. Smoke filled the space. When it cleared, he was still standing. His gray shirt now had a black burn mark, but his face stayed calm. A small line of blood ran from a cut on his cheek. He wiped it with his thumb and looked at the red color as if it was nothing new. In the stands, the rulers began to talk in low voices. No human should be that quick, one said. Earth must have cheated, said another. The 2 human officers kept their faces blank, but their hands were tight fists. Queen Vespera circled him now. Her ponytail swung behind her. The golden marks on her face glowed hotter. "Who trained you?" she asked. The man gave a small shrug. "Life," he answered. That single word made her attack harder. She came at him with both hands. Elbows, knees, and fast strikes poured forward. The sound of her armor clashing filled the arena. The human blocked some hits with his arms. He took some on his shoulders. Each time he gave a little ground, but never fell. Pain showed in his eyes for short seconds, yet he stayed quiet. Vespera grew more frustrated. She had ended fights in 10 seconds before. This man was still up after 2 full minutes. Sweat started to shine on her forehead. Suddenly, the human moved forward for the first time. He stepped inside her guard and pushed her shoulder with an open hand. It did not look strong. Yet Vespera slid 3 steps back. Her boots scraped the floor. The crowd gasped as one. No one had pushed their queen like that in years. She caught herself and stared at him. The quiet man rolled his neck. More dirt fell from his hair. He looked like he belonged in a workshop, not a royal arena. But his eyes had changed. They were colder now. "Ready?" Vespera let out a sharp cry and charged again. This time she used her full speed. She became a blur. Hits landed on his ribs and chest. The sound was heavy. The human bent under the force but did not break. When she paused to breathe, he finally struck. His fist moved in a short, clean line and stopped against her armored stomach. The gold plates cracked with a loud snap. Vespera's mouth opened. Air left her lungs. She jumped back and looked down at the broken armor. Real surprise filled her beautiful face. The elite guards around the arena took half a step forward. She raised one hand and stopped them. "Stay," she ordered. Her voice was lower now. The laugh was gone. She looked at the human as if seeing him for the first time. "You are not normal," she said. He did not answer. He only waited. Blood from his cut dripped onto the floor. His gray shirt stuck to his body with sweat and dirt. High above, the Earthship stayed silent. Inside it, older humans watched with still faces. They knew what the Queen did not yet know. This man had walked through worse places than her arena. He had fought wars that never made the news. Earth had chosen him for a reason. Vespera wiped her mouth and stood tall again. The crack in her armor leaked a little soft light. She was hurt but far from finished. "Fine," she said. No more holding back. Power rose around her like a storm. The blue lights in the arena flickered. The energy field shook. Aliens in the front rows leaned away. The human dropped into a lower stance. His hands stayed open. The real fight was only starting, and every person watching felt the change in the air. Queen Vespera had stopped laughing for good. Gold light poured from the cracks in Vespera's armor. She lifted both hands, and the floor under them trembled. Metal plates shifted. Spikes of hard light shot upward. The human jumped to the side, rolled, and came up on his feet. One spike cut his sleeve open. Another burned past his leg. He kept moving. Vespera flew at him through the air. Her knee smashed toward his chest. He crossed both arms and blocked. The hit pushed him back 10 steps. His boots left black marks on the floor. Pain flashed across his face, yet he locked his teeth and stayed up. The crowd was on its feet now. No one laughed. They only stared. A green-skinned traitor turned to his friend and said, "I bet my ship on the Queen. I think I made a mistake." In the royal seats, an old general of the Vexari clenched his fists. He had never seen his queen work this hard. Vespera landed and spun. Her leg swept low. The human jumped it. She followed with a rain of punches. Each one landed harder than the last. He blocked with forearms that were already dark with bruises. When she slowed for half a second, he struck back. 2 fast hits to her side. Another crack sounded in her armor. She hissed in pain and anger. "What are you?" she demanded. Her blue eyes searched his face. The man breathed hard. Sweat cut clean lines through the dirt on his skinches. "Just a man from Earth," he said. The simple words made her attack wilder. She grabbed his dirty shirt and threw him across the arena. He hit the energy field hard and fell to one knee. Blood ran from his mouth now. The human officers took a step forward, but a look from him stopped them. He stood up slowly. His left arm hung a little lower than the right. Something inside was hurt. Still he walked back toward her. Vespera circled him like a hunter. Her ponytail was loose now. Strands of platinum hair stuck to her glowing cheeks. The perfect queen looked less perfect. She had dust on her armor and a real bruise forming under one eye. "Earth sent you to die," she said. "Why?" He met her eyes. "Earth sent me to finish this." Then he ran at her. It was the first time he looked fast. His body moved in a straight, clean line. Vespera raised her arms to block. At the last moment, he dropped low and slid under her guard. His shoulder hit her legs. Both of them crashed to the floor. They rolled. Armor scraped metal. Fists hit flesh and plate. Vespera tried to pin him. Her strength was huge. She pushed his shoulders down. Her face was close to his. "Yield," she growled. "And I may let you live." The human looked up at her. Blood covered his teeth when he smiled, tiny smile. "No," he twisted hard. Somehow he reversed their places. Now he was on top. His forearm pressed across her neck, not enough to truly hurt her, but enough to hold. The whole arena froze. No one had ever held Queen Vespera on her back. Her guards lifted their weapons. She shouted one word, and they stopped again. Pride burned in her eyes. She refused help. With a burst of power, she threw the human off. Both fighters stood. Both breathed heavy. The queen's armor was broken in 3 places. Soft light leaked out like golden blood. The human's gray shirt was almost torn away. Dark bruises covered his chest and arms. One eye was swelling shut. Yet he stood straight. Something deep inside the queen shifted. For the first time in many years, she felt the edge of doubt. This dirty man from a small world should have fallen long ago. Instead, he kept coming. She whispered words in her own language. More power filled her body. Her eyes glowed pure white for a second. The marks on her face blazed. "I am the queen of the Vexari," she said. Her voice rolled like thunder. "I do not lose." The human wiped blood from his chin. His voice was rough but clear. "Then today is a new day." High in the Earth ship, a woman with silver hair spoke softly to the screen. "He is ready. Let him finish it." The final part of the fight was coming, and the whole galaxy leaned in to watch. Queen Vespera attacked with everything she had left. Light exploded from her hands. Waves of force shook the arena. The energy field around them cracked and sparked. Aliens in the seats held onto the rails. The human ran straight into the storm. He took a hard blast on his shoulder and kept going. Another blast burned his side. He did not stop. When he reached her, he hit with short, heavy punches. Each one landed on the weak points of her broken armor. Gold plates fell to the floor. Vespera cried out and swung a wild elbow. It caught him on the temple. He staggered. Stars filled his vision. She followed with a knee to his ribs. Something cracked. He dropped to one knee. The crowd roared. They thought the end had come. Vespera raised both hands high. A spear of pure gold light formed above her head. "Defeat me and be mine," she said one last time. Her voice was tired but proud. "You cannot." The spear started to fall. The human looked up. Blood ran into his eye. In that small second, he moved. He pushed off the floor with all the strength he had left. His body twisted under the spear. The light missed him by an inch and smashed a deep hole in the metal floor. Before Vespera could make another weapon, he was inside her reach. His hands grabbed the edges of her chest armor. He pulled her forward and down at the same time. Their foreheads almost touched. Then he spoke words only she could hear. No one else in the arena knew what he said. but her glowing eyes went wide. Whatever secret he told her landed harder than any punch. Her power flickered. The white light in her eyes dimmed. The human let go with one hand and struck her cleanly on the side of the neck with the edge of his palm. It was a precise hit. Vespera's legs lost strength. She fell to her knees. Silence covered everything. The queen tried to rise. Her arms shook. The human stood over her, swaying on his feet. He did not hit her again. He only waited. Vespera looked up at the dirty man from Earth. Her perfect face showed shock, pain, and something new: respect. Slowly she lowered her head. The golden marks on her skin faded to soft lines. The power around her died away. In a clear voice that every camera and every ear could hear, she said, "I yield." The elite guards dropped to one knee. The crowd did not know what to do. Some cheered. Some sat in total silence. The two human officers finally moved. They ran to their man and held his shoulders so he would not fall. He was badly hurt. Broken ribs. Burned skinches. One eye closed. Yet he stayed awake. Queen Vespera stayed on her knees in front of him. The broken pieces of her black and gold armor lay around them like fallen leaves. She had promised before every fight, "Defeat me and I am yours." Now the words had come true. Queen Vespera lifted her head and looked at the human. The arrogance was gone. In its place was a steady calm. "You won," she said. "By my own law and my own word. I am yours." The man nodded once. He could barely stand, but his voice was clear. "Then stand up," she stood. He did not order her to kneel again. He did not take her throne or her empire in that moment. He simply looked at her and said, "My name is Ethan Cole. Earth did not send me to take a queen. Earth sent me to stop a war before it started." The truth spread quickly. Cameras had recorded every second. Across hundreds of worlds, people watched the dirty human defeat the undefeated queen. Ethan Cole was not a normal soldier. For years, Earth had quietly trained a small group of men and women in secret places. They learned every fighting style. They endured pain that would break others. They studied alien bodies and armor. They became the quiet wall that protected Earth, while the planet stayed peaceful on the surface. Ethan was the best of them. He was the secret weapon. Vespera kept her word. She left the arena at his side. Her empire did not collapse. Instead, she used her power to open real talks with Earth. The small blue planet that everyone had laughed at now sat at the table with the strongest races. Many feared humans after that day. Others respected them. Some wanted to be their friends. Ethan never wore a crown. He went home after his wounds healed. But the queen who once laughed at humans now stood as proof that Earth was never weak. She had mocked him with the words, "Defeat me and be mine." In the end, those same words changed the galaxy. Years later, children on many worlds heard the story. They heard about the quiet man in the dirty shirt who walked into the arena and walked out with a queen's respect. They heard how one human's steady heart was enough. Queen Vespera never took back her yield. She never laughed at Earth again. And somewhere in the stars, the rest of Earth's secret weapons stayed ready just in case the galaxy ever forgot what one person from that small blue world could do. The biggest secret was not only Ethan's training. Sources inside later stories suggest Earth had watched Queen Vespera for years. They knew her challenge was also a test to find someone strong enough to stand beside her and stop her empire from growing too far. Ethan did not just win a fight. He won a future where humans and the Vexari chose peace instead of war. The dirty man who looked like nothing special had carried the weight of his whole world on his bruised shoulders. When the queen laughed and said, "Defeat me and be mine," she had no idea she was speaking to the one person made for that moment. The laughter died. A new balance began. If this opened your eyes to how far a single human can go. One quiet man from Earth walked into an arena full of enemies and walked out having changed the stars. Queen Vespera kept her promise. The galaxy learned that humans hide their real strength until the moment it is needed. Earth is small but never weak. If you felt the power of this HFY story, show it. Like the video right now. Subscribe to HFY Sci-Fi for more original stories every week. Turn on the bell so you never miss the next one. For deeper stories and early access, join our free newsletter, link is right below. Comment and tell us, what would you have said to the Queen when she pointed her finger and laughed? We read every comment. The next legend is already being written. Stay ready, humans.